Hello, Blue Hoodie. Hello, Mels. How's it going? Oh, I was talking for so long and I didn't realize I was muted. Oh. Um, bollocks. Okay, so I'm gonna have to talk again, aren't I? Um, how are you both doing anyway? You good? Right. So the gist of what I was saying is, Ethan is using diversionary tactics to deter us from the fact that he's not losing weight, right? So it's kind of like the Wizard of Oz type thing where you say, "Don't look at the man behind the curtain." It's that kind of endeavor. So he's fasting again. He's um, he's saying that he wants to move to Tennessee and he's looking at apartments in Tennessee. But he's also saying that his mental health is bad and he's not going to tell us why. He doesn't seem to think that that's a very um, interesting thing for us to know about. He's just saying my mental health is really bad right now. Why? I can't tell you. So there is that.
I haven't gone on any sort of crazy binge or eaten a billion calories or anything like that. And I know it's normal to slip up. Everybody slips up, whatever. But I'm so sick of falling back into these same stupid mistakes that I've been making for a very long time. Especially at this point in my journey where I have such a good understanding of how stupid it is. And you know what the dumbest part of it all is? Is that I actually feel pretty good. Physically, my feet don't hurt as much. I've been having a good time at the gym. I actually started a new workout program with Joey this week that I'm feeling really good about. I don't know what else to say. I'm just trying to take ownership of this stuff.
So this was 5 days ago, and he's doing a new exercise program with Joey. Um, Not heard hide nor hair of that since 5 days ago. And you would think that if he was going to the gym regularly, he would be doing videos of himself going to the gym. Um, a lot of fitness influencers do that. They film themselves at the gym, having a great time, lifting heavy things and all that kind of stuff. But Ethan's not doing that. So the videos that Ethan's putting out really have nothing to do with any form of sustainable weight loss. It's not about the food that he's eating. The only recent one in the past week has been Applebee's and tacos and protein ice cream. Now, if you were on a daily calorie deficit and you were trying to hit goals for weight loss, I'm not sure you would be highlighting ice cream, Applebee's, and a big bowl full of taco. I don't know. It just seems counterintuitive to the goal at hand. Can you guys let me know if you can hear me fine now? Because I'm worried. I'm bloody worried. So
Because even though they've been small mistakes, I know the compounding effect of stuff like that is not good, particularly if it's left unchecked for too long. I'm getting near the point where I might hop on a GLP. But I'll tell you what, if I do that, it's not going to be because someone online told me to. It's going to be because I came to the conclusion that it's the right thing for me. I appreciate y'all.
so there's interesting phrasing there. Hopping on a GLP-1. Unfortunately, hopping on a GLP-1 is not really as easy as that. You still have to eat properly. You still have to put the work in to maintain a calorie deficit. You need to make sure you're checked regularly for your liver function. Um, there's so much than just hopping on a GLP-1. Um, I've been on something called Trulicity when I was at my biggest weight, and that was for my diabetes. And I didn't have any kind of training, for want of a better word, to help me with my eating problems. And my eating problems were major at the time. That's why I was 500 pounds. Um, so I ate through the Trulicity. And it's very easy to do that. You'll find it very difficult at first, but where there's a will, there's a way. And eventually it will get to the point where the weight loss injections will be like, all right, you win. Just bring the food in. Come on. You'll shit yourself though. Um, so hopping on a GLP-1 is not as easy as he's making it seem.
This 4XL shirt's a lot baggier on me now than it was when I got it. That's pretty cool. Listen, I'm on the verge of doing something crazy. I have been completely consumed this week on where to move and when. And this whole time, I've been looking for places local. But I told you guys, eventually, I'd like to end up in Tennessee. And I've been thinking about it, I've been praying about it, and
I think the reason that he wants to move to Tennessee is because there's a lot of influencers that live in Tennessee. So he wants to be among his own kind, I guess. And while that's fantastic for being a content creator, is does he have the mentality? Does he have the wherewithal and the discipline to strike out on his own? Because he can't handle he can't handle 2,500 calories and 10,000 steps a day. How is he going to handle paying bills, paying tax, doing things around the house for himself and stuff like that? This is yet again another diversionary tactic to try to stop people talking about his lack of weight loss.
still have a lot more thinking and praying to do.
Welcome in,
But
Hammy.
what
Good
if
to
I
see
just
you.
did it? I have lived right here in West Michigan my entire life. I do have a really good relationship with my parents, and I have a few close friends here. But I know Danny would be willing to go down there with me. Regardless of where I end up, I know I'm at a point where I need a fresh start. The thought of getting down there earlier rather than later and starting to build the roots of a community down there, that would just be really awesome. I love the Nashville area and I am seriously considering this. My mind is moving at 1,000 miles per hour right now. It seems a little crazy, but it might be the move for me. This
Yeah, I don't. How's he going to handle a broccoli? Exactly. I don't think he's encountered a broccoli recently. So,
I am very nervous about tomorrow's weigh-in. And I'm not going to hide from it, because I've already told y'all, this wasn't my best week. Last week, I fasted for 3 days. I was super dialed in with my goals. I was feeling really good. I only fasted 1 day this week. I was super stressed out, haven't been sleeping as much, and I missed my calorie goal on a couple days. Whatever number that scale says tomorrow, I know it's not going to be as low as I want it to be. But I'm still going to get on it, and I'm still going to post the video. I need to seriously reconsider how much time I spend reading comments. I know I am incredibly blessed for the amount of support that I get, but I'm the type of guy who will see the few negative comments, and I have a really hard time shaking that. I also have a really hard time giving myself grace when I mess up, which I think is pretty funny, because anyone trying to use my faults that I shared against me, they haven't said anything to me that I haven't said to myself in a much worse manner. And tomorrow, I'm going to have to deal with the results of my own actions. See you guys soon.
so this is interesting because when we look at weight loss influencers, we tend to see them, we tend to see the majority of them in a positive light. When we look at people like Journey with Sal, 99% of his comments are positive. And that's because Sal is an honest person. Sal tells us when he's fucked up, and we just say, yeah, it's part of being human. But with Ethan, he doesn't tell the truth. And that's why he's getting more and more comments that are calling him out. And that's why he's getting more and more comments when he's trying to divert from his weight loss journey. He's just going to say, well, I'm moving to Tennessee, bye. Or I'm going to pray a lot. And that's just, it's frustrating because there are so many other people that deserve a place in the weight loss sphere that would be so much more inspirational than Ethan. Um, there's people I follow people on Instagram like Beast Underneath. He's literally lost 300 pounds, literally lost an obese human being, and people still look at Ethan like, look how well he's doing when they don't realize that he's got slimming filters coming out the wazoo. So, yeah, can you tell Ethan pisses me off? I know. So this is the weigh-in that he did.
It's weekly weigh-in time, baby. Last week I was 425 pounds. In all fairness, last week I did a very long fast leading up to the weigh-in, and I'm gonna be honest with y'all, this wasn't my best week. So I'm expecting this to be around the same as it was last week. Let's see where we're at.
427.4 pounds.
Let's do it again.
427.0 pounds.
All right. It's not a great number, but considering the fact that we had a 12-pound drop this week, I'm actually not too mad about that. That means we.
Yeah, but you had a 12-pound drop. Because you had a 12-pound drop because you fasted for 3 days. And when you're looking at sustainable weight loss, fasting 3 days a week it's not sustainable, is it? It's just one of those things where it's like you can do it in the very, very short term if you don't have any kind of disordered eating. There are a few people out there that extol the virtues of fasting, and they do it and they're successful because they have the discipline to not overeat on the other days of the week. Just because you fast 3 days doesn't mean you can fit in 7 days worth of food in 4 days. That's not the idea behind fasting. And when Ethan fasted and he lost his 12 pounds, the majority of that will have been water weight. Maybe some fat, maybe a bit of muscle as well. We don't know. But again, the majority of it will be water weight. And he probably is the kind of guy that will retain a lot of water because he has a lot of salt in his diet. So I don't know. It's just not good for Ethan to be doing these fasts. Even if it's like one day, even if it's like 2 days, he just can't. It's just not sustainable for somebody like him. And I feel like I should be concerned, but I'm not.
I just got back from therapy and I stopped at the P.O. box. It's been a while. Let's see what we got. I'm also topping off my protein for the day. Sweet cream coffee, baby.
Now, protein shakes have their place. If you go to the gym, if you train hard at the gym, and you find it difficult to get your protein in, then by all means have a protein shake. But I just feel like Ethan chugs these protein shakes because he has an obligation. And also, he doesn't disclose the fact that he's a Jocko Fuel shill a lot of the time. He's just like, I'll have my special drink, thank you so much, Jocko Fuel.
This is actually pretty cool. One of my followers sent me a comic book that he wrote. He wrote a really nice note alongside of it, and I think he signed the note MASH. It has been a very long time since I've picked up a physical comic book. Seems too creepy for my taste. But it looks like
Seems too creepy for my taste. It, that's quite insulting. Hey, thanks for the comic book. This is really creepy. Okay, Ethan. So you've got great interpersonal skills there. Just say, just say that the drawings are amazing or that the artwork is fabulous. You don't need to say, yeah, this is really creepy. Thanks.
the people who made it are very talented. I appreciate it, and I appreciate the note. Someone named Nicole sent me a card all the way from the UK. You know, I deal with a lot of mental issues from sharing so much of my life online, but I gotta tell you guys, when I read stuff like this, and when I take the time to read DMs and stuff, where people tell me the impact that my content has had on their lives, it makes it all worth it. Nicole, I really appreciate this. We get a
I don't see. I don't see what other people see. Does that make me weird? Because I don't see somebody who makes a meaningful impact on people's lives. I guess I guess seeing Ethan struggle makes people feel better about themselves. Good morning, love. Did you sleep well? Um, yeah, I think Ethan struggling makes people feel better about themselves, and that's why they they watch him and they cling on to the fact that he's like a comfort. He's like a comfort content creator. He's like, ah, good old Ethan. He put on 2 pounds again this week. God bless him.
A lot of books in the P.O. box, folks, and I'm telling you, I suck at finishing a book. I have bought a lot. I haven't finished many. It's hard for me and my mind being so active to just sit
Good
down
morning,
and
Dan.
read.
Good to see you.
But Patty sent me a book about mental health. So, Patty, I really appreciate that. And last but not least, Chef Val sent me a little letter talking to me about my journey, and he sent me some seasonings that they made. All of these seasonings don't have any salt, sugar, MSG, anti-caking agents, or preservatives. I don't know if I've ever used many seasonings that don't have salt in them, but these look pretty good, and I'm gonna try them out.
That's not a flex, Ethan.
Really appreciate all this stuff, guys. I don't talk about the P.O. box a lot. I originally only set it up because people were asking me to make one for my birthday last year. I don't want anyone to ever feel pressured to send anything. You guys watching my videos is already more than I could ask of y'all in terms of support.
Good, because I won't be sending you anything. Thank you so much.
If you do want to get something my way, you can find the P.O. box using the link in my bio. I appreciate y'all. It's leg day today, so we gotta head to the gym. I just got...
It's leg day today, guys. Did you move your legs?
Now this is what I call white people taco night. And this is the lineup. We're starting out with 1 pound of 93.7 ground beef.
That looks horrendous.
And we cooked that with the Siete spicy taco seasoning. We've also got tomatoes and jalapenos, shredded lettuce, a big bag of lettuce because I'm thinking of making a salad. We have a reduced fat Mexican cheese blend from Meyer. We got sour cream and some salsa from Aldi. And I didn't know what we were gonna make with these, so I got out small and big extreme wellness wraps, and I got out some Quest chips because they have decent macros. And I don't know about y'all, but I really like having...
I don't I don't equate potato chips with macros. I don't look at a bag of crisps and I go, oh, these macros are really good in these crisps, actually. Why aren't you looking at the macros in chicken breast or the macros in broccoli? A broccoli. A broccoli probably has more protein than a bag of crisps. So I think you need to sort yourself out, Ethan, if you're like, wow, look at the macros in these potato chips.
some texture in my meals. As for me tonight, I think it's taco salad time. I got some lettuce cut up. Gonna hit it with a couple spoons of salsa. A nice blob of sour cream, or a dollop, as some might say. Gonna get some of that freaking taco meat. A little handful of this reduced fat cheese. And a handful of these for some added texture. This might not be the prettiest meal ever, but it's got great macros. It's gonna fill me up. And I didn't even plan this, but it's actually pretty low carb as well.
He didn't plan it, but miraculously it's low carb. Well done, Ethan. At least he had a vegetable. On the Ethan Suplee podcast, he said he couldn't stand those protein chips. He's just a walking contradiction, is our Etienne Bernard.
It's Valentine's Day today. I have spent a lot of the day so far kind of trapped in my own mind. You guys
Wanking furiously, no doubt.
know that dating and relationships is something that I care very deeply about. And I know a lot of people comment, oh, Valentine's Day doesn't matter, but it does. And because of the nature of the day, it's a topic that I've been thinking a lot about today. I don't have much relationship experience at all. And I don't know what part of my journey I'm going to start dating. But what I do know is that I've put a lot of thought into it. And whenever it happens,
Well, when a hot Christian woman falls out from the sky, it's raining trads, hallelujah, then of course Ethan's probably going to start dating. But Ethan has said himself that the girls he's interested in would not find him attractive. So that tells me that he probably goes for somebody that is, I don't know, 5'2", 105 pounds, has a six-pack, probably would scream if Ethan looked in their direction. It just seems like he wants a family and kids, but he seems to be quite shallow in terms of the kind of person that he wants to be with. He wants somebody smoking hot. And I guess he's waiting for all the weight to come off. miraculously, then he'll suddenly be smoking hot himself. And unfortunately, that may not happen.
I'm actually really excited to get some experience in that arena. I still have some self-image stuff to get over. I've lost over 200 pounds, but still, if a girl were to approach me right now, I would be kind of skeptical. I'd be like, yeah, what's the catch, you know? But since this is what I'm thinking about today, I'm going to give you guys an opportunity to put questions about dating and relationships in the comments below. And I'll make another video answering some of them with my honest thoughts as a 26-year-old man who cares deeply about the subject but hasn't had any experience yet.
Why would somebody want to ask somebody without any experience questions about dating? What advice are you going to give? Hey, Ethan, you've never had a girlfriend. What's it like having a girlfriend? And Ethan will be like, ooh, boobies. He wants his hot trad wife mummy replacements to be guided to him by the great man in the sky. Exactly. That's all he wants from life.
I just got ready for church. I'm actually really excited for the service today. My pastor is preaching on relationships, of all things. I took my...
Yeah, it's funny how Saturday the 14th of February is Valentine's Day, and Sunday the 15th of February, the pastor would be talking about relationships. It's funny that. It's really funny that, actually. Like, what a coinky dink.
Garmin off to charge and put on a nice watch for the first time ever, and I feel really good. I also made...
So he's taking his steps watch off because he doesn't want us to see that he's only done like maybe 5 steps in 20 hours. Let me just, sorry, my mic keeps flickering. Do I still sound okay? Yeah, I think so. Right. Off to church he goes.
It's Sunday and it's time to get personal. My pastor and his wife spoke on relationships this morning. And something that I've been thinking a lot about lately is how do you find the balance between pursuing relationships and trusting God's plan? Because the Bible says that a man is supposed to find his wife, right? But as Christians, we also believe that God has a plan for our life. So God already knows what's going to happen and who we're going to marry. But if it is as simple as that and everything's already set in stone, why even date? One of the reasons I've been thinking about this so much lately is because I don't really have a clear picture of the type of woman I'm looking for yet. The only thing I've had in my mind this whole time is that I want someone who's aligned with me when it comes to faith and our goals in life, and it's someone that I want to be physically attracted to. And I feel like those things are obvious.
Oh, okay. Well, he wants physical attraction, and he wants somebody aligned with his goals. But what are his goals? He doesn't really have any. He's like, I want to lose weight as fast as possible, but I don't want to change my habits. He doesn't have a driver's license. He doesn't have a job in terms of like outside of content creation. So I just don't see anybody approaching him really that he would find physically attractive.
Yes. But this is a really interesting topic because I think as a Christian, there needs to be a balance between putting all your faith in God, but then also taking action and pursuing relationships. And I guess it all comes down to timing and discernment on when or when not to do that. Anyway, I know this is a topic I've been talking a lot about lately. I also see a lot of people that are like, just stop talking about it and just do it. Listen, I'm not embarrassed to talk about this kind of thing. I know for a lot of people, this topic could be considered the oversharing territory, but it's
No, I think it's more a diversion tactic from trying to lose weight. I know, I'll talk about being a sad, lonely man, and that will stop people from talking about why I didn't hit my 2,500 calorie goal and 10,000 steps for the day.
genuinely something that has been put on my heart a lot lately, and it is a part of my life that I'm genuinely excited for because for a while, with my size and how poorly I thought about myself, I never thought it would be possible at all. I am still planning on making that Q&A video, but I feel like talking so in depth on this stuff that it might be on a question per question basis. Needless to say, it was a really good service this morning, and I'll see you guys soon. It's
Priest, the pastor, he was top notch.
I'm not sure how to word this, but I know I'm very blessed with the help I'm getting on this journey. I have close friends, I have a therapist, I have a counselor, and I even have like a trainer. And I know I'm not alone in this, but even with all those things in place, I am still struggling with some things mentally. And it's felt a lot harder to make videos lately because I'm at a point now where I don't
Another excuse. If he's got all these things in place, why aren't these people helping him? Even Tay Sowers, when he got help from Diamond Dallas Page, he lost over £100. So what's so different about Ethan when he's got the Jocko Fuel people, he's got the nutritionists, he's got Chris Pratt, he's got Jelly Roll on the phone saying, "How many steps you done today, Ethan?" "Well, I've done 11,000 steps at quarter to midnight, Jelly Rolls." Jelly Rolls like, "Oh yeah, that's really good, that is." So why, if you have all this help, are you still saying, my mental health, my mental health? Is it because you just don't want to lose the weight? Is it because you don't want to form the healthy habits that it takes to make any kind of sustainable weight loss? And we obviously know that it takes a long time to undo the bad habits that you've had for decades. But we have to bear in mind, Ethan has claimed that he's lost £220, or more now, 240, I guess. And yet he still talks as if he's at day one on his weight loss journey, despite losing over £200. And that is where I don't understand his way of thinking. I've lost over £150, and I definitely feel like I'm deep in the trenches of my weight loss journey. I don't feel like it's day one at all. It's definitely day 1000 for me, because the person I was at £500, I see that as a completely different person to what I am now at 331. Welcome in, Debbie. Good to see you. So for him to talk like this, it just screams like he hasn't really lost £220. I feel like at most he's probably lost like maybe 80, £100, something like that. Um, so all this stuff, it just makes me think he's lying and trying to divert from the truth.
I want to just talk about the weight loss. I don't. So I'm in a weird spot where I know I'm moving in the right direction physically, but I'm also putting in a lot of effort to try to make progress spiritually, mentally, and emotionally. And as excited as I am to reach that 399 mark, based on the journey so far, I know that that last 100 pounds of weight loss before the surgeries is going to be the.
He thinks he's going to get weight loss surgery at £300. I don't think that's going to happen, because even at 6'5", Ethan at £300 will still be obese. He will still have a lot of fat to lose. It seems like he thinks that when he reaches the big 300, he's going to magically be like less than 15% body fat or less than 20% body fat. And that's not going to be the case. You need to have a good year or two of maintenance under your belt before any decent surgeon will consider you for weight loss surgery, for skin removal surgery, rather. So, yeah, you're going to have to be, at the very least, him and QLR have the same size cleavage. Seems like it. Um, you've you maybe lost my train of thought now. Yeah, at £300, the loose skin will be quite minimal, I will say. Um, you're £240 and still not there yet. Exactly. It might be a case for you, Dan, that it's going to be like £180 maybe, or 200, depending on your musculature. Like, I wouldn't even think about skin removal surgery now because I've still got a lot of fat on my body. So for him to say, yeah, I've only got another £100 to lose before it gets all lopped off and I've got a six pack and I'm feeling fabulous, darling, it just doesn't work like that. He's living in a fantasy world.
Artist. And I know it has to be done, but I don't know how much I'm looking forward to it. I appreciate y'all following this journey. And if I can get some of the personal stuff I'm dealing with sorted out, I think I'll be able to get back into my routines.
Hasn't told us what the personal stuff is. Are we ever going to know? He thinks he overshares because he talks about being a virgin or whatever and not going on a date or anything like that. But then when he talks about his mental health, he's like, yeah, I've got a lot going on. What? No, I can't tell you that. Sorry.
when it comes to creating content. I love y'all, and I hope you have a blessed day.
Shut
This
up.
protein shake is going to be the last thing I eat for the next 36 hours. I have a lot on my plate in life right now, and I have
You don't eat a drink, all right? Last scan you did in November was 30.9% body fat at 255. Okay, yeah. I did a body fat scan in October and I was 37% body fat. Can't remember how. I think it was 145 kg. So yeah, there's still a ways to go for all of us on these weight loss journeys, you know?
some very important decisions to make. Fasting is a surefire way for me to clear my head. So I'm going to enjoy this shake this evening.
Fasting is also a surefire way to undo the damage of the weekend after probably eating a lot of Oreo protein ice cream.
And then I'm going to be fasting until Wednesday morning. And I'm hoping that through fasting and prayer, I can get some of the clarity that I need. I appreciate y'all watching, and I'll see you with some non-food related content tomorrow. Coffee and donuts, by the way. Use code Ethan at jockofuel.com. This protein shake.
No, I won't, thank you. So yeah, as of 11 hours ago, Ethan is on a 36-hour fast, and he's saying that the fast is because he wants to clear his head so he can have a bit of an old pray, and the rumbly tummy will be Jesus saying, "Oh, Ethan, maybe you should go on another podcast." Yes. It it I don't really get it. I just don't understand. This is another diversionary tactic because it's taking away from the scrutiny of the food that he's consuming. If he says, I'm not eating now, so what are you going to say? Nothing, because I'm not eating. But people are still going to be critical because of the timing. It was Monday yesterday, right? Ethan had the whole weekend to pity himself. Valentine's Day, the day after Valentine's Day, he didn't want to put his Garmin watch on. So there's so many like telling signs, and he can, he can say all he wants um about about what we think he's doing, but so somebody says here, clarity or scale manipulation. LMAO, heck yeah, I'm excited to lose weight from it too. Why wouldn't I be? Fasting isn't cheating. It takes a lot of discipline. Yeah, it's not cheating, but the reason behind this. Good morning, Wendy. Good to see you. The reason behind wanting to fast, he's telling us that it's for clarity and prayer to let him know where he's going in the future. But we all know that it's just because he wants to shed an extra bit of water weight for Friday's weigh-in. And this is classic bulimic behavior. Going to extreme decisions like fasting or punishing yourself with exercise or, purging. It just it's just so glaringly obvious, but he wants us to think that we're all stupid and he's doing it for the right reasons, yeah? Yeah, I think I was well over 50% body fat a few years ago.
I know I pay too much attention to negative comments in general, but the internet is actually pissing me off tonight. Every day I see comments that are blatantly slandering me, which I get. And I understand as someone with a relatively large social media following, that's going to be something that just happens. There's no
Morning, Jen, good
avoiding
to see you.
negativity on the internet. However, when it comes to the fasting reel that I just made specifically, some of the comments that are questioning my intentions for the fast are actually making me angry. Because when people are commenting like, oh, he's just doing the fast to lose weight, they're not just attacking my character, they're also attacking my faith. Because I literally said,
He's hiding behind his faith to cover up the fact that he's had a bad weekend. and he's yeah. He thinks people are stupid. Okay, this is where we're at. Like I kind of feel insulted, to be honest. It's like we know what you're doing. You're trying to manipulate the scale for Friday's weigh-in because you had a bad weekend. It's clear as day, but you're telling us that it's to do with clarity and to help you with having a bit of a pray. I just don't believe it. I just don't believe it.
In the video, I want to do this fast so that I can pray about some things that I need to deal with in my life. And let me tell you, folks, maybe I need to become
You can pray on high protein, low carb meals. I think you're allowed to do that. But I guess, Ethan would rather stick to 1,000 calorie salads.
a little more bold. There's two things in life that I'm willing to die for: my faith and my family. And I know those comments probably weren't angled towards attacking my faith, they were probably angled towards just attacking me. But I take something like that very seriously. So to all of the normal viewers watching, I appreciate you. And to all of the people leaving comments like that watching, keep going. Keep going. I will not hesitate to just start making a freaking devotional series on my page. I do not care. I will start openly leaning into my faith and how important it is to my life on this page, and I will not hesitate to do it. Anyway, that's about it.
Yeah, so you're going to make it a devotional page. So that means you're not going to talk about your weight loss, which means you're diverting from what your page is supposed to be about, which is predominantly about your weight loss, tracking your calories, weighing yourself, and getting your steps in. So I'll show you people who think I'm fasting for non-religious reasons. I'm going to make it all about religion and not talk about weight loss at all. Ha ha! All right, Ethan. All right, mate.
Tomorrow, I'm actually taking a solo trip. I have been on the internet a long time. I'm used to being insulted. I don't really care about that. But when people question my character and when people question my faith and my intentions specifically, that stuff hurts. And I don't know how to just sit here and take it. I know I paid too much.
I'm not questioning your faith. I'm just questioning the timing of you wanting to do a 36-hour fast. I don't know what like Christian denomination that Ethan's part of, but if Ethan was to say, "Good morning, Paolo, good to see you." If Ethan was to say, "I'm fasting for the 40 days of Lent," I'd be like, "Okay, yeah, that's a religious concept which you need permission to do from your pastor or your priest. And 40 days is an extremely excessive um, bit of time, but people who are people of the Islamic faith are currently doing Ramadan, and they see fasting as dedication and discipline to their faith, which nobody can argue with. It would be the same as somebody of the Christian faith fasting, or somebody who is Buddhist fasting, or any of the religion. I think all religions involve fasting at some juncture. A classic case of the lady doth protest too much. Yeah, I guess some manner of evangelical. Yeah, I mean he's American, so there's a lot of ultra religious Christians in America. It again, this is all just diverting from the truth that Ethan cannot handle 2,500 calories and 10,000 steps a day. That's it. He needs to be honest and open about fucking up. That's all. That's all people want from him. Be open and honest about messing up on your weight loss journey because it happens to us all. Don't start saying you're attacking my religion because I'm having a fast. You've done these fasts before. You've done a 72-hour fast 2 weeks ago, and that was nothing to do with religion. And people in the comments are like, hell yeah, brother, I'm fasting for 6 months now and I feel great. Those people in the comments do not help him. Because the people that are commenting saying that they're doing the fast themselves, they probably have a lot of discipline, more discipline than Ethan at any rate. And when somebody who is over £400 fasts for any significant amount of time, and I'm not talking intermittent fasting, going 10 to 12 hours without food, because you can do that quite easily, just sleeping, you know. We're talking like prolonged fasts. It's just not gonna it's not gonna work out well because the disordered eating is lurking in the background and it's just ready to pounce for when he's like, right, I'm ready to eat again. It just it just really boggles the mind, the gymnastics that he's going through to try and manipulate the scale. And the scale number isn't even incredibly important in a lot of respects. Good morning, Edna. Good to see you. It's just not that important because there's inch loss, there's muscle gain, there's body fat percentages, there's so many different factors. And he's just not being honest. He's not being honest with himself. He's not being honest with his audience. He's just he's just a liar. And surely him lying so much is against his religion, right? I just find it incredibly hypocritical, and that's why I left the church in the first place. Because I used to be a Catholic, right? And the hypocrisy was incredible amongst certain religious types, and I just had enough of it. Hiding behind religion is just a cop out to make people who are calling them out look like bad people. Yeah, exactly. If he's not honest with himself, what is he really doing? He's just trying to. I guess he's trying to be. I guess he's trying to be vainglorious in a way. He's trying to see himself as a kind of paragon and elevate himself for doing the bare minimum, right? So he doesn't even post about hitting his calorie goals anymore. So how are we to know that he's actually hitting his calorie goals? He hasn't posted his step count for days. He hasn't posted his calorie deficit for days. He's shown us a massive bowl of taco salad, and that's it. And he's shown us the protein ice cream that he made himself. He has a machine dedicated just to making ice cream. How dangerous is that for your weight loss journey? I think very. When you have a machine that is solely dedicated to making ice cream in your house. Buy a vegetable steamer. Yeah. Oh, he pisses me off. Like, honestly, I've done my best to not. I've done my best to not to just talk about it outside of my YouTube channel, just on the Reddit. I'm not reaching out to Ethan anymore or anything like that. Every time I see him, I just roll my eyes, and that's it. But I have to say, Ethan is a hypocrite, and he seems to use this fasting as a kind of religious ploy when it's just a ploy to manipulate the scale. And that's where I'm at on that. Bollocks. All right. Okay. So we're up to date with Ethan now. And we're going to look at a podcast it's from 5 months ago. Good morning, Mudslicker. Good to see you. Oh, it's Pancake Day today. Make sure you have your pancakes. So this podcast was from 5 months ago, and it's got 97 views. um, 97 views 5 months ago isn't very good for somebody who claims to be like, I've got 250 million views a year. You gave him the benefit of the doubt for a while, but yeah, the more I hear, the more I realize he doesn't want it. Yeah, exactly. So we're gonna have a listen to this, um, and just see what he says. I know it's from a few months ago, but it'll be interesting to see what he says and how much he contradicts himself now.
everybody. Welcome back to Every Day is Friday. Before we dive in, make sure you subscribe so you never miss an episode. Today, I'm really excited to welcome Ethan to the podcast. He started his weight loss journey at 660 pounds and has
X'd out.
inspired almost 300,000 people on Instagram. Today, we'll be diving into his story. Let's have some fun. I got a lot of great questions lined up. Ethan, welcome to the show.
Yeah, thanks for having me, man.
And for the listeners who may not be familiar with your line of work yet, can you give us a quick rundown of who you are and what you do?
Yeah, man. So my name's Ethan Benard. Benard, not Bernard, because I don't know,
Etienne Bernard, thank you so much.
there's something wrong with that last name, bro. I used to
Hey,
be a
Carrie,
full-time
good
Twitch
to see
partner
you.
back in 2019 through 2021. Just this past year, well, actually, this past 2 months, literally 8 weeks ago, I started making content again. So I started the Facebook page, I started the Instagram, and over the past 8 weeks, nearly 200 million video views later, it's just kind of going crazy, man, to a level that
200 million views, 97 from this podcast. Well done, Ethan.
the gaming stuff never even touched.
We're talking about the weight loss journey, right?
Oh yeah,
Wow.
yeah. So I started. I've lost 100. I lost 100 pounds between January and May of this year, 2025. Just dieting, no moving, no exercise, nothing. And once I started walking, I was like, I'm gonna do this. I might as well record it, because it's hard to make videos about eating less. Like, you know what I mean? Like, what are you gonna do on camera? Not eat. So once I started the
No, you're actually going to tell us what you've been eating. Okay. So this is why he doesn't post this is why he doesn't post food content then. Because he's saying what am I Right, let's hear that again.
once I started walking, I was like, I'm gonna do this. I might as well record it, because it's hard to make videos about eating less. Like, you know what I mean? Like, what are you gonna do on camera? Not eat. So once I started the
It's hard to make videos about eating less. No, it's not. You can just post your what I eat in a day. Simple as that. 5 seconds. 5 seconds at a time of everything that you eat across the day. Done. What's so difficult about that? Unless you got something to hide, Ethan. Have you got something to hide? It's yeah, maybe.
fitness aspect, I decided to get back into the social media game and have it surrounding that weight loss process.
Now, Ethan, it's always fascinating to hear the why behind someone's passions. I mean, how did your weight loss journey begin, and why did you start?
Yeah, so back in 2021, I was hospitalized for 60 days. I lost everything. My whole audience was gone. My mental health was in the pits. My body was wrecked. But it took me coming that close to dying to realize that I didn't want to die. Because I was so in the pits mentally with my body, man, that I couldn't have cared less of whether I lived or died the decade before that. Like, it wouldn't have mattered.
Exactly.
But after I came that close to actually dying, I realized, oh, crap.
It doesn't stop other people posting their what I eat in a day videos. Exactly. My sandwiches, snacks, and evening meals always look really nice. Thank you, Debbie. Yeah, I mean, it's not difficult to post that kind of stuff. I mean, well, I've gone through phases of not doing it because I couldn't be asked, but it's just, at the end of the day, I'm a small fry in terms of this kind of stuff. Why does he talk that closely to the mic? Because he kind of sees loud as being like funny, loud being truly emphatic, that kind of stuff. Under his recent X post, just to clear some things up, back to your regularly scheduled weight loss content tomorrow, someone replied, leave God alone. He's bigger problems than you getting laid. That is so true. God's got other things to worry about. I don't think he's worried about Ethan Benard getting his knob inserted.
Crap, I want to live. So I got to start putting some work in.
Yeah, those first steps are always the hardest, though.
Oh, yeah, for sure. So actually, up until this year, I never really had the mental strength to actually stay on the path. So since 2020, I've literally lost and gained back 100 pounds 3 times. So, and that's a lot of weight.
You still don't have the discipline, though. So that's why you're diverting from the weight loss content to talk about religion and to talk about moving to Tennessee and to talk about comic books and to talk about books.
But it just happens so fast, man. Like when you're this size, and like, obviously getting to this size took over 2 decades. So getting it off isn't going to be as fast. But yeah, dude, if you let yourself backslide, it does not take long to get back up there.
Future
Now, what made
family.
you want to share it online? And because I mean, being open like that takes a lot of courage.
But yeah, I've never cared what people think. I'm very thick-skinned. Like even back in the
Never cares about what people think. Replies to every single negative comment.
gaming stuff, the comments were like 60% negative. It was ridiculous. I was inadvertently growing because of the amount of like fat comments and shit that my videos were getting. So I've never cared about that. No, the thing is, I always want.
And then he wonders why he lost his audience if the majority of his comments on his gaming content were to do with him being fat. I said this in the last live I did about Ethan. There are Twitch streamers who can go away for weeks and they will come back with 90% of their audience still watching. The fact that Ethan was in the hospital and came back to virtually no audience makes it seem like they weren't there for Ethan as a personality. They were there just to watch Fat Man. Welcome in, Cypher. Good to see you. You're on a weight loss journey. It's called food poisoning. Oh, bless you. I hope you get well soon. Exactly. He has a meltdown over any kind of criticism.
Wanted to be on camera and be like a personality, right? But I also have always wanted to help people. So I found this as an opportunity. Honestly, I didn't care how many views this stuff got, right? Because the peak of every weight loss creator, quote unquote, and I don't like putting myself in that category, even though that's why people watch me right now, their peak is the before and after. So it doesn't matter how many.
He doesn't want to be considered a weight loss content creator. Why was he in the hospital for 60 days? He had COVID. So we have it here. Ethan does not want to be considered a weight loss content creator. So he's kind of dead-ended himself into this niche and he can't get out of it. And that's what these recent distractions are, is him trying to move away from his weight loss content because he just doesn't want to do it anymore. I think he wants to be seen as like funny fat man. He wants to be like John Candy or Chris Farley or Oliver Hardy. You know, he wants to be one of the funny fat men. But he's gone wrong with wanting to be a weight loss content creator. No one should be keen to take weight loss advice from him, considering he's lost and gained the same £100 3 times over. Yeah, exactly. The weight loss was just a means to get fame when the Twitch route failed. Yeah. Yeah, he wants to bait and switch his audience. Now, full transparency, you know, I started off my channel, this YouTube channel started growing because of my foodie beauty content, right? And I wanted to you know, change from that. And there's nothing wrong with wanting to change up your content, but just be honest about it and just say, I just don't really want to do this anymore. Because he's just constantly lying, trying to evade all the questions being asked, like, what's your step count? What's your calorie goal? Well, I'm moving to Tennessee, if you must know. He's going to need a lot of cocaine to be John Candy. Yeah.
Views the journey gets, because when you get to that before and after, you'll blow up, right? So that was my game plan. My game plan was, okay, grind it, document it so people can look back on it, and then post the before and after and like start a podcast or a talk show or whatever. You know, I didn't care what it was. If I'm on camera, I'm happy. I don't know what it is. As soon as I get on camera and I'm sitting in front of the lens, I like enter this like zone, dude.
Yeah,
That's a weird thing to say. Well, not really. I guess it's weird for him to say because he, again, doesn't want to be known for his weight loss. He wants to be known for his stellar personality.
a lot of people call it like you're just in the flow state.
Yeah, exactly.
And I like to say in the podcast a lot, it's about the journey, not the destination, but the personal development throughout the journey and what you're doing. So there's a lot of courage because I even get a lot of hate for the podcast. There's a lot of haters behind screens.
Oh, yeah. Well, there's no negative repercussions for it, which is fine. You know, I think free speech is important to an extent. Obviously, that statement itself is contradictory. I'm not going to get into that. But, you know, who cares, man? Like, at the end of the day, they're just feeding your analytics.
Exactly.
Them
Haters
commenting on it unironically does more for your channel than if they didn't.
Now, Ethan, what does a normal day look like for you right now?
Ooh. Dude, 8 weeks ago,
Get up at 4 p.m., have a box of taco, have a pint of protein ice cream, dip the ice cream in some Oreo juice, Jocko Fuel. He was born to be a star. Star. Wrong way, down a one-way street. Your father would be proud.
that would have been such a different answer. Like, you got to realize 9 weeks ago I decided to start walking, and 8 weeks ago I decided to start making videos. So it's been kind of this like whirlwind change. Like, everyone's like, "Oh, you should be pushing more weight."
Not
You should.
done. He's only just started to learn to walk. That's amazing, Ethan. I mean, I thought you'd done that 25 years ago, but
Be eating less. I'm like, brother, I literally started going to the gym 5 weeks ago. I started walking 9 weeks ago. Leave me alone. Like, it's ridiculous, man. So honestly, it's changed a lot since I've done the content creation stuff, because I'm in a really unique position.
So the gist of it is, he wants to post his weight loss content, be famous, and then be left alone. That's it. It's weird. Like, you have to take the crunchy with the smooth. You can't get there's always going to be people that are going to give you advice. I get advice all the time. Eat a teaspoon of cinnamon a day. Only have meat. Kick an apple into the river, and then you'll lose 5 pounds in a month. There's all sorts of weird shit going on that are people giving you advice. And it does frustrate me from time to time, but I just have to accept that I'm putting myself out there, and I am always going to be up for criticism. And I've reasoned with myself that I'm not going to be 100% liked by everyone. Um, and if somebody criticizes me, I can just delete the comment, I can just block the person, fuck them. But Ethan decides to set his followers onto people who dissent, like he did with me a couple of weeks ago. So he's just a horrible bastard. Yeah, exactly. He could shut off replies and just document his weight loss journey that way, but money, 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 money. As Ted DiBiase would say.
Where I have that kind of on-camera personality that a lot of brands like. So I'm in a position where I can work with more companies and like work with more creators because my skills are sought after. Like, the story is sought after, but my skills are also sought after. So I'm in a really blessed
Well,
position right
fresh
now
flowers,
where I
good to
can
see
work
you.
with companies behind the scenes, and like I'm going to this place to film this with someone, or I'm traveling now. Like, I literally went from like just sitting at home dieting, which is how I lost the first 100 pounds this year, to I have trips lined up, like 4 out of state trips lined up for like the next 3.5 weeks.
Is that for people that want to coach you?
No, so it's more of like a collaboration type of thing, where like I'm literally at the point now where I'm really in a fortunate position because I just recently in my weight loss journey regained my independence after the hospital. For the longest time, I needed help with like really menial shit that most of us take for granted every single day, just because of how messed up my body was, right? But now that I'm in a position that I can completely and totally take care of myself, I have nothing tying me down here. So if a friend of mine goes like, "Hey, let's record a podcast in like Texas in 2 weeks," I'm like, "Hell yeah, give me a plane ticket," you know? So I'm in that really fortunate position where I can just kind of travel.
He's like, hell yeah, brother, just buy me the ticket. Thank you so much. I'll pay you back next year, the year 2028.
As
Wiping
much
his
as I
bum.
want with no
Yeah.
negative repercussions. Honestly, like with traveling, the hardest thing is like staying on the path, like diet wise, you know?
You have such good courage doing everything you're doing, because I mean you were on the line of just dying, and then you said no to it, and you want to change your life, which is so powerful.
Yeah, it's pretty wild, man. So a day for me right now, like I said, 8 weeks ago, it would have been get up, play video games, eat, go to sleep. You know, now it's like get up, read.
And now, get up, play video games, eat, sleep. So, markedly different. He's just playing a different game now. Instead of playing Valorant, he's playing Arc Raiders. I was trying to think of a game.
emails, read DMs, record a video, go on my first walk, make my first meal, get into a call, record a podcast, something like that, another walk. Like I
Who's
try to
watching
split up
this
my steps
podcast?
between 2 or 3
Us.
walks every day because getting all 10,000 in at once is like rough at my size. Like doing 10,000 steps at all at my size is rough, you know? Like I still wait.
He says he'll be eating out lots on these trips, no doubt. He doesn't actually count calories while he's doing these podcast trips. He said that himself. The one thing I will say, I maybe have some envy over, it would be nice to be getting offers like he is getting and actually take advantage of those opportunities. Yeah, I completely understand. I guess it is kind of annoying to see people being handed free stuff and do nothing with it. Because Ethan has a free nutritionist, Ethan has a free personal trainer, Ethan gets free Jocko Fuel stuff. He gets a lot of freebies, but he does nothing with them because he just says, "Oh, my head is so misty. I can't even lose weight because I can't think properly." Exactly. There's nothing else you envy about him. That's true. He's such a dynamite now. He really is. He looks like a stick of dynamite because of the slimming filters.
Weigh 500 pounds. I've lost all this weight and I'm still kind of at that stage where I'm still an extreme case, you know? Like I'm still like at the beginning. Like when you're this big, you kind of have to treat it like every day you're kind of starting over the weight loss journey because I have still so much to lose.
No. No, I don't agree with that. If you're 660 pounds and you lose 150 pounds, there's no way you can feel like you're at the beginning most of the time. You've lost a substantial amount of weight, 150 pounds, 160 pounds. Honestly, going from 660 to 500 should be life-changing, but Ethan still sees it as day one. You're such a nonna. I know. It's for my sins. There's nothing to do with his personality or likability. It's all to do with the number of followers he has. Yeah. He's not genuine. And I think coming across as genuine is very important, especially in such a long-term thing as weight loss content. Good morning, Monk Chip. Good to see you. Weight loss content, you have to be honest, you have to be relatable, you have to be likable, and you can't force those things. People are going to make the decision to like you or not, based on a couple of seconds, and that's just the way of the world, really. And I just don't see Ethan as being a likable guy. Maybe I'm in the wrong there. Maybe we're in the wrong. Thinking, maybe he is inherently likable. We're just arseholes. But more and more people seem to be cottoning on to the fact that he's lying and diverting. Research shows outrage bait gets heavy engagement. So unfortunately, we're at this point in social media where the creators that don't deserve it get pushed and rewarded the most. Yeah, yeah. You want to see him at a huge airport go from gate B to gate R. That's a lot of steps in itself.
That it'd be like kind of an unfathomable weight for most people to deal with.
Yeah, no, it's a lot of weight to walk around and push yourself to even you got to start by walking, and then you got to get into the gym and push a little bit of weight at a time, and over time it's going to change, but you got to stay consistent. I mean, what kind of foods did you have to give up?
Oh, that's the thing. I've done all the diets, man. I've done keto. I've straight up fasted. I've done like 1,500 calories. I've done like 3,000 calories. I've done it all. And the biggest thing for me, I think, was realizing that you can lose the weight without giving up anything. The biggest thing, literally the only thing that really matters science-wise in weight loss is the calorie deficit. Because I count and track everything I eat. And for a while, I didn't really care what that was. Like this year, I was just kind of eating whatever, as long as I'm within my...
Do you count and track everything you eat? Do you? Welcome in, Zizi. Good to see you. Do you track everything? Because he said in another podcast that he doesn't drink his calories. But he was like, I got this lemonade, 30 calories. I got this protein coffee, 200 calories. I got this Jocko Fuel, 200 calories. I don't drink them. I don't drink my calories at all. All right, mate.
My calorie count, I was fine.
So it's calories in, calories out.
Yeah.
Correct?
Yeah. pretty much. So, but now that I have like a nutritionist and a trainer, I'm like, I went from eating, like I was doing like 2,000 calories a day and I was getting like 150 grams of protein. Now they have me doing like 2,500 calories a day because apparently I was literally slowing down my metabolism by eating so little for my
Wow.
size. So they have me doing 2,500 calories a day and 250 grams of protein, which is a lot, but you also have to realize my goal weight is like 290, 295. Like I'm not a normal person. I'm 6'5".
Welcome in,
I'm
Wicked
built like
Weird
a
Wednesday.
linebacker,
Good to see you.
Mm-hmm.
and I'm going to be building muscle this entire journey down. So I'm never going to be normal sized
Shut
because I know a lot of people are like,
Ethan.
"Oh, you look."
Shut. I'm building muscle constantly. Yeah, you have to go to the gym for that, mate. Not just take a few photos there. He does know the lingo, but I'm not seeing the fallout exactly. You can't slow down your metabolism. He's just. I don't know who well, I know who the nutritionist is vaguely, and the nutritionist is quite overweight. I said this before. I couldn't trust an overweight nutritionist. An overweight personal trainer, yes, because they would be doing strength training and it's not focused on weight loss. But a nutritionist is all about eating in moderation and getting the adequate nutrients, right? Couldn't trust it.
So good at like 225 or 200. If I was 225 or 200, I would be like thin. It would not be good. Like
No, you
I'd be
wouldn't.
alive, but I would not be doing service to my build at all.
Ethan, who told you that? I'm pretty sure 6'5", 225 is just a normal weight for somebody 6'5", right? Um, so 240, so 280 is 20 stone. Huh? You wouldn't be thin. You wouldn't be like incredibly thin at 6'5" at 225 pounds. Like if you were 140 and 6'5", yeah. But 225? What the fuck are you talking about? His 225 bodies out there with his wife and kids. Yeah, exactly. Figment of his bloody imagination. He's admitted he doesn't go to the gym to burn calories, so why does he go there? For the pose, to record content with a trainer who's losing patience with him? Yeah, I mean, he just seems to go there to take photos. While calories are super important, if you eat mostly carbs, for those calories, your body will be in a protein deficit and your blood sugars all over the place are lost lower. Yeah, and I mean, when you eat a lot of carbs, you do retain a lot of water. So there is something to be said for the kind of food that you eat, as well as the calorie deficit. A goal weight for a 6'5" man is around 180 pounds. Okay, so 225 at 6'5" would mean you'd have a little bit of pudge or a bit of muscle. 198 to 240. Okay. So he would be normal then at that weight. But he wants to be an obese 6'5" man at 300 pounds. He wants weight loss surgery. Weight loss surgery. He wants skin removal surgery at 300 pounds when he's still going to have a lot of fat on his body. Brr.
Now, do you ever struggle with
Yeah,
like food
Jen.
cravings at all?
Yeah, but you just got to make that choice, man. Like that's what it boils down to. And like the reality of the situation is, and I don't think a lot of people understand this. If you do have a bad eating day, you can pretty easily compensate for it. You just have to make that differentiation in your head between compensating and like punishing yourself. Because when you get into that like punishment mentality, that's where all like the disorder bullshit comes in, you know? But
Oh, you mean like doing a 36-hour fast? Because that would be punishing yourself, wouldn't it? Doing a 36-hour fast. Do you know what would be even more punishing than that? Doing a 72-hour fast. But I'm sure Ethan knows what he's doing, yeah? I'll be like Ethan. I don't know what I'm doing.
on my birthday, right? I probably had like 3,500 calories or whatever. I didn't care. It was my birthday, you know? Fasted the next day. Father's Day, 4,000 calories this year. That day I did track everything. Fasted the next day, I was still down 4 pounds that week. So it's like, and I'm not saying fasting's for everyone because that's hard, especially for someone my size. Having the willpower to just not eat is pretty wild. But you can eat pretty much whatever, man. Like the thing is, if people want to build muscle, they have to eat high protein. And if you want to lose weight, you have to.
This is so frustrating to listen to. He's basically saying, yeah, if you overeat one day, just don't eat the next. He doesn't do anything fast. No, he doesn't. Compensating for overeating is definitely getting into disorder territory. Yeah. Wednesday, he's currently doing a 36-hour fast. And he's doing it under the guise of religion. And he's attacking people that are saying that he's doing it for the wrong reasons. They're saying that he's saying that they're attacking his faith. Mate, I just can't with this guy. Like, seriously, you can't be saying this. You can't be saying, yeah, I had 5,000 calories yesterday. I just fasted the next day and I still lost 4 pounds. You know? My husband's 6'4". He got up to 220 and didn't look great. He was always best at 195. Where's Ethan's loose skin going to fit into that 295 goal? Not even 295. He said in a podcast before that he wants to weigh 300 pounds and eat 5,000 calories a day. That is his goal. And he's talking about strongman, and he's got a hiatal hernia as well. How are you going to be a strongman with a hiatal hernia? Why hasn't that been addressed, that hiatal hernia? He literally has to truss himself up to stop the hernia from bloody exploding. There's just so much that he's doing wrong, and he just simply won't address these things because he thinks he's right all the time, and he isn't. He thinks he knows what he's doing. The nutritionist told him to eat 2,500 calories, and he's like, "Nah, I'll just eat 2,000." All right then. Yeah, he's basically glitter and lasers. If she was ginger. I just did the 48-hour fast. Feel good for it, not for everyone. I have my reasons. You probably have more discipline than Ethan does, right? He has to feel the pressure painting himself as some expert at this and still suffering his bad eating patterns. Yeah. It is maddening. It really is. We're only 10 minutes in.
To eat in a deficit. Those are just like the two facts of like what you eat. Other than that, like yeah, obviously like whole and healthy foods are better, but it really doesn't matter what you eat if you're hitting those macros.
It's all about the calories in and calories out to lose the weight, and then I'm guessing you add on the workout routine with it too. I mean, what's your favorite type of workout?
I've been really enjoying the strength training, man. I despise cardio. I hate walking. It's miserable, especially outside when it's like hot. And I don't have an option right now. Like they don't really make a whole lot of treadmills for people my size. So there's really, you just got to push through it. You know, it sucks. But the weight training I've really been enjoying. Like
He doesn't like walking when it's hot. He doesn't like walking when it's cold. Does he like walking when it's just right? Probably not. Yeah, he wants to eat like Eddie Hall. Exactly. Strongman's not healthy at all. You watch Chikara and she doesn't take care bodybuilding and she says it's not good for a long lifestyle. It isn't. But Ethan wants to be able to consume 5,000 calories a day and, I don't know, think he looks like Arnie. Amber was also like, "Nah, I'll eat 1,400 calories, 2,500 is too much." Yeah, and then she'll eat 6,000 because she can't handle the 1,400. He doesn't he doesn't think he'll like walking ever. No. He just wants to walk in game.
already been upping my weight that I've been doing, and I only started like 4 weeks ago.
Yeah, finding something fun helps a lot when you're working out.
For sure, yeah. Yeah, I'll find myself doing like an extra set or an extra few sets of chest presses that weren't even in my program or something just because I enjoy doing it. You won't find me doing that with cardio, but we have me and Joey have a Google Doc set up for my training. So he literally has it like sanctioned into weeks in Google Documents, and he just types out what we're doing for each strength day of each week and just go at it.
Do you mind me circling back? What got you to be that big in the first place?
I don't know, man. Probably a mix of hormonal imbalances and loneliness. So, because my levels have always been messed up, and I also grew up an only child. So I didn't really know better. I didn't really think about it. I would just like come home, play video games, eat, and go to bed. You know, that was just what I did for like a decade. And I was like 200 pounds by the age of 9. So I was always like, I was always tall, but I was also
200 pounds by the age of 9. Yeah, wow. So that's like 15, 16 stone, age of 9. Okay. I can't remember how big I was. I might have been near there.
always like super fat. So I was always the fat kid who was also taller than everyone else. I was kind of like a giant in school.
I have a buddy, and he did the same thing. He got really fluffy at a point of his life, and he just said he had to put down the Pepsi. He had to put it down every day. He cracked open a Pepsi, played some video games. Then he had some food, and then he had some other stuff, and he just started gaining weight over time. His acne was going crazy. I mean, just the sweets alone, the sugar and everything he was eating was just really hard on his body. And then eventually he went to college. He started getting made fun of, and no girls wanted to talk to him, and he just flipped a switch in his life. He's like, I gotta change now or never.
My hormones. Nothing to do with the food. My hormones. It's his ghrelin. Guys, it's the ghrelin. Ah! Ghrelin rhymes with gremlin. You know? I love that term, fluffy. Yeah. You can't talk the weight off. No. I mean, you breathe your fat out, right? When you burn fat, it comes out as oxygen. But Ethan's like, if I blow enough hot air, I'm going to lose this weight just by talking.
It's now, and he looks great right now. He pushed himself, and he changed his whole life. Now he does windows and siding. He does a whole bunch of stuff now. For his normal day job is walking around, putting on siding, doing stuff like that. Now he can have a career. I mean, if he didn't have that, he would be out of breath in like 2 seconds.
Lance
for
Bass,
sure.
yeah.
Now, have
Yeah.
you had people doubt you on your journey?
Yeah, I'm one of the biggest purveyors of that myself. Like the thing is, up until this year, I didn't really have like the mental strength not to backslide. So I always doubted myself. Like to be fair, I grew up just assuming that I was always going to be like
You still don't have the mental strength, really, considering how much you divert from the task at hand.
this, right? And there's a lot of I don't really take heed of what a lot of people say because if I don't respect the person, I have no reason to
Right,
care about
Jen?
their opinion, right?
It drives
But
me
yeah, there's a ton of
mental.
people, bro. There's actually more people than you would think who actually wish failure upon you, which is wild. Like I don't know what you get from that, but there's people out there like that. So if there's people out there that literally wish failure upon you, I think there's exponentially more people out there who just assume that you're going to fail.
What I've realized in life is when you surpass, they cheer you on until you surpass them, and then they start rooting against you. So they see your following, they see everything you're working towards, and they want to be like you. They want the following, they want the stardom, they want to be something like that. But I mean, they don't understand.
I don't want MAGA freaks. I don't want ultra Christian conservatives. I don't want literal Nazis to be part of my audience. Now, yeah, I'm a European liberal, so what? I don't want those kind of people associated with what I do. And I've been vilified by those kind of people. There's no jealousy involved with Ethan's audience because I've discovered what Ethan's audience is like, and I do not want that kind of audience. I like the audience that I have. And you curate the audience through your own personality. So, you know, Ethan will sit there and talk about Charlie Kirk for 5 minutes, and people are like, "Hell yeah, brother!" and also lose 6,000 followers. But it's just, I think Ethan's probably like a big, like trumpet. Do you know what I mean?
What you're going through, and they don't know what. I mean, I would tell everyone out there, it's like try to put yourself in my shoes. I mean, really. I mean, for me personally, podcasting alone, I've been getting a lot of hate and stuff like that. It's like you have to put yourself in my shoes. Do you understand the scheduling, the long hours, the editing, the thumbnails, everything I have to do? I have to wear multiple hats at once. Same thing with you. It's very tough, and I'm very proud of you and keep going because I had a time period in my life that I was fluffy, and I had to change my life for the better. And it's very tough when you see people around you not support.
Why are you saying fluffy? When I was fluffy, did you used to be a cat or did you used to be a bunny rabbit or something?
Supporting you as much as you think they would, And
Yeah, for sure.
Who supported you the most in your life?
Oh, my parents for sure. Yeah, I have a best friend named
Yeah,
Danny that I've been best friends with
Roberts
since
isn't for me.
preschool, like 21 years now. And him and my parents for a long time were pretty much it. So there was pretty much no one else. Like obviously, like when I was doing the gaming, I would have some supportive community members and stuff, but that's different. You know, the online stuff is way different. Like even now with the numbers that are like kind of hard to even comprehend, it's still different from that like local support.
Now, Ethan, do you talk to God during your journey?
I try to, yeah. I've always been kind of I don't think bad at praying is the thing, but for a really, really long time, I was just a selfish prayer probably. Not the right word, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
A selfish person who prays, because I would only pray when I wanted or needed something. So I've been trying to do it a lot more lately.
So it's like, God, if you're up there, can I have a hot trad wife, please? Testicles, spectacles, wallet, and watch. Please, give me a hot woman to fall out of the sky. Yeah, sorry, I don't really go for Alan Roberts. Yeah, I mean, Ethan said his faith is everything, but on that Christian podcast we watched together, he literally said he hates religion. So you hate religion, but you would die for your religion. What the fuck are you talking about? He's so contradictory. It's like Ethan, like podcast Ethan is one person, and TikTok Ethan, Instagram Ethan, Facebook Ethan is just a completely different kettle of fish. It's really weird. He hates religion, but he would die for his faith. How does that marry? How does that make sense? Yeah, I would say so, Mud. I would say so.
Especially with like everything that's happening, it is really hard to just allow God to take everything to a.
Can I do a Scottish accent? Of course I can. Ain't got no problem with that. You're fine. I'll be great doing that. Maybe I sound a bit like Billy Connolly, talking like that.
Just into his hands when there's a lot of stuff happening at once, because I'm a person with a very, very active mind, and now I'm a very busy person, and I still don't have the capacity to just say, okay, God, I need your help, just take it all.
Mm-hmm.
Like giving that burden to him, I can't. Like I still haven't been able to fully do that. Like I try to, but that's still something I struggle with.
Yeah, and what you are is God's gift to you, and what you do with it is your gift to God. I mean, what you're doing, you're making a difference in a lot of people's lives because they're watching you.
Yeah, dude, some of the stories I've been told and like some of the letters I've received are pretty crazy. Like I knew, like going into it, really, like it's worth uploading this crap if it helps one person. And I'm in a position now where it's helped an exponential amount of people. Like
In another podcast, he said that he doesn't give a shit whether this helps people. Oh, oil on the road. Exactly. There are people who separate their relationship with God and the construct of the church and organized religion. I mean, Ethan puts so much credence on his relationship with religion, and he goes to church every single week and all that. I just don't get it personally. Sitting outside the gym, don't want to go in, but I want to be thin and I'm here now. Get yourself in there, Debbie.
probably can't even count, because if like 150, 180 million people have seen my videos in the past 8 weeks, how many of those individuals were actually impacted by what I said?
What does it feel like to be getting stronger?
Honestly, bro, with how much work I've been putting in at the gym, I don't feel much different now than when I was at like 660.
Okay.
Like I feel that I'm more mobile, and I can notice that my like skin is a little flappier, but like with the amount of, I don't know if pain is the right word, but like the amount of soreness and stuff, it feels pretty similar. Like I can do more on my own now, but in terms of like strength and pain levels, they have not changed much. Like I'm sure I am stronger, but it's not like to a point where I notice it in my day-to-day life yet.
Well, has your confidence changed since you've been losing weight?
No, not really. And I've always struggled with that in a really interesting way, because I have always hated my body, but I've always been confident in who I am. And I think that challenges me more in dating than it does anything else. Because I literally, up until this year, I didn't have the emotional maturity to realize that my future wife or whoever I'm going to end up with would love me as I am now and try to help me reach those goals. I always had the mindset of, okay, I'll lose all this weight and then I'll get a girlfriend and then I'll get married. I never even occurred to me in the past 25 years of my life that I could meet that person sooner. And that's been another really hard mental shift for me, because now I've inadvertently added this whole other load of stress onto my life, because now I'm not just making the videos and doing all these podcasts and doing all these meetings and editing. I'm now like shit, I have to actually present myself to the best of the ability as I can as a 500-pound guy in case I meet that person.
Now, do you have a weight loss goal? You're
Well, he's so vain. I bet he thinks this song is about him, don't he? He- Who's the fluffy guy? Um, well, the guy on the left. I think this is just his podcast. Somehow manipulators find something to use against people, religion, all kinds, political beliefs, insecurities, they're all the same. Yeah. So Ethan's saying that he doesn't see himself as he doesn't see himself as like an eligible bachelor, I suppose. Um the thing is it is about how you present yourself. Um Even Tay Sowers can get a girl. Yeah, yeah. I mean he's got a moustache and everything now, hasn't he? He's got it all going for him. I mean, when I was at £500, I was dating. I was um, I was getting my end away at my heaviest weight, and probably wasn't the best thing for me with some of the people I encountered. But Paul woman would be an emotional battery for him, maybe.
trying to reach, right?
Yeah, it's kind of hard to say because I'm not to the point where I've been able to have a DEXA scan done yet. So I don't know like my body fat percentage. So if I had to guess with the muscle I'm building, I'd say that I'd end up around 300, maybe a little less, because I am a very large person. Like I have really wide shoulders, and again, I'm 6'5", so I'm built like a freaking linebacker. So I
Ethan, your shoulders aren't broad. Yes, you're tall. You need to stop this fantasy of being a £300 mega stud. Ethan's like, I'm gonna look exactly like Giga Chad from the Maymays. I'm gonna have a square jaw. I'm gonna be rectangular. I'm going to look like Michael Phelps if he was 6'5". 75% body fat. I mean, when I was 500, I was over 50% body fat. So Ethan being 6'5" and 660, if that's what he was, probably could be at least 65%, I would say. Yeah.
I don't think, especially if I continue gaining muscle and hitting the gym as much as I have been, and I'm assuming me and Joey will even increase that amount as I lose more weight. I don't think I'll get much
Maybe
lower than that, at least
Wednesday.
not while I'm in my
Square
like
jaw,
fit
yeah.
stage, like those years where I'm focused on keeping a bunch of that muscle on. I don't think I'll get much lower than that, like 300, 290 mark.
As long as you have a goal, I mean, that mindset really does matter.
Yeah, for sure.
The
Because
thing
I was
is,
started
the
at
thing,
660. I
shut
had
up,
gotten
Ethan.
back up to
Surprise, surprise.
624 by January of this year, and
Sorry.
I'm at like 505 right now.
Now, Ethan, for someone struggling out there doing this,
Um, I'm all over the place today. I'm so sorry. I do think he needs to actually go to the gym to get this muscle. The muscle's not going to appear out of nowhere. Ethan's not been going to the gym a lot. He's not been doing much cardio either. So where is this muscle? Where is this muscle going to appear from? Where's it all going to come from? It's not going to magically appear if he eats enough Quest chips. Hitting the gym as much as I have. Exactly.
the same thing you're doing. I know so many people out there, especially in my community that's listening. I mean, how do you deal with the hard days or the setbacks?
It's like you just got to have the discipline, man. If you don't have the discipline that will allow you to not halt your progress or not backtrack your progress from those bad days, and then you don't have the discipline to compensate for those bad days if you do have them, you're not going to make the progress. Because I used to literally, like, for a long time back in 2020 when I was trying to lose weight, I would do like 1,500 calories a day on weekdays, and then I wouldn't count calories on weekends. And then I was wondering why the scale wasn't going down. Because I was just starving myself throughout the week so I could eat whatever I wanted on the weekends, but I wasn't losing weight. Like, you have to find a
Yeah, but Ethan, you're still doing that if you're having 5,000 calories in one day and fasting the next. Oh. 3-day fasts, 1.5-day fasts. You are always trying to compensate for your overeating. And the reason it's so maddening is because his audience, his core audience, does not see these podcasts. Again, this podcast has 97 views in 5 months. People do not know that this kind of stuff exists because he doesn't promote it. And the reason he doesn't promote it is because he shows a completely different side to himself to what he shows on social media. And that's the annoying bastard thing about it. He is just talking about his unhealthy habits, and he's making his unhealthy habits seem as if they're gospel, for want of a better term.
A way to actually not even enjoy, like ideally you should be enjoying the process, but you have to find a way to tolerate it. You have to find something that you can actually do. Because if you don't do it, or if you lie about your tracking and you sneak in food or whatever, you're just hurting yourself.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of hard to, it's kind of say like, oh yeah, you just need the discipline, but that's pretty much what it boils down to.
It's the calories in and calories out.
So why aren't you doing that then, Ethan? Why aren't you showing what you eat in a day? Because you're saying that you can't show in a video that you're eating less. You can. You can just show what you eat in a day. But you don't want to show that. You want to show steak and taters once, a salad once, protein ice cream. I'll show you how to make a protein coffee. It's just coffee and protein. Thanks, guys. See you later. Make what I eat in a day videos. Show us everything that you eat, and then we'll know. Or is there something you're hiding, Ethan?
Do you have any techniques to keep track of that?
I use an app called Chronometer. So it's actually, my nutritionist has like a doctor's profile on there or whatever. So everything that I track, he can see like in real time. So we're kind of linked in that way. So it's sort of like MyFitnessPal, where you just like type in whatever you eat. Like I weigh everything, because that's the only way to track accurately, is to weigh your food. I won't go off on that. But you use a food scale, I track everything, I put it in the app, and then it shows me exactly how many calories and how much of each macro I've done for the day. So for my goal weight, what I usually tell people, and I'm not a coach, I'm a 500-pound guy, so don't take advice from me if you don't want to. I recommend, if you're trying to build muscle, you should be eating 0.8 grams of protein per pound of your goal body weight. My goal is 295, so I should be eating minimum like 240, and I aim for like 250. And everyone's
Good
like, oh my
times,
God, that's way too much protein. I'm like, my body weighs double that. I'm eating the amount of protein that I will need when I'm...
Everything I track, not everything I eat. Yeah. It's those little tells. I think he genuinely believes his own bullshit. Really. He just... Yeah.
down to that goal weight. I'm not even eating enough protein to what I should be right now for building muscle at this weight. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's amazing how far you've come.
Yeah. And that's the thing too, man. Like I know I look a little different now, but I still feel like almost just as bad as I did at my heaviest, which is hard.
What's the most surprising thing about your journey so far?
In terms of what? Like physically?
Physically, and I would say physically, and the whole weight loss journey. I mean, from being 660 and then to losing weight. I mean, that's a tough process.
Yeah, man. Honestly, I don't, like I said, I don't feel much different. I think the most surprising part is the mobility thing. Like, you'll notice that it's like starts to get easier to move around a bunch. And I've never experienced what it's like to be normal, quote unquote normal. So I don't know what it's like to be able to just like get out of bed and get into vehicles and get dressed and all that stuff like in a normal body. I've always had difficulties with all that stupid shit.
How old are you?
I turned 20 this week.
Now,
so
what do you tell yourself when you want to give up?
I don't want to give up. I had a kind of an epiphany. I don't know, that's kind of a weird term to use, but I'm going to roll with it. In January, that if I fail this journey, I'm not failing only myself. I'm also putting the lives.
I'm also failing my wife and kids.
I'm not even kidding. As soon as I realized that, I have not really slipped up.
Sorry.
You versus you.
Sorry,
Yeah,
guys. I've just heard this so much now. I'm failing again with my wife and kids. My wife and my kids. Peggy Sue and little Jimmy.
What do you tell yourself when you want to give up?
I don't want to give up. I had a kind of an epiphany. I don't know, that's kind of a weird term to use, but I'm going to roll with it. In January, that if I fail this journey, I'm not failing only myself. I'm also putting the lives of my future wife and children in jeopardy. I'm not even kidding. As soon as I realized that, I have not really slipped up.
Yeah, it's you versus you.
Yeah. I've hit my protein goals. I walk as much as I can. I've been going to the gym at least 3 times a week. I really haven't skipped a beat since I started
My
that
wife.
mentality.
Love and marriage, they go together like a horse and carriage. My wife doesn't exist yet, but she'll fall out of the sky one day.
What's your biggest dream right now?
Other than starting a family, I want to create kind of like a content empire, dude. Because I've always been gifted for the content creation stuff. Like I've always felt at home on camera. Like I never had it down in my mind that I would end up doing this for a living one day. I did not realize it would be focused around my weight loss, you know. But I thrive in that space, and I think with the knowledge that I have, like I'm sure you're familiar with.
He does hate walking, Kyla. Welcome in, by the way. He hates walking. That's why he ends up doing 10,001 steps at 23:59. Mind you, he hasn't been telling us his step count for the past week. If you want to see somebody who's taking their step count seriously, go check out Losing with Lance on Instagram. He's doing 1,000 steps a day for every day in February. So it's currently the 17th of February, so he's going to be doing 17,000 steps. Yesterday he did 16,000, the day before 15, the day before 14. He's doing really well. Starting a family with who? His wife and kids. Hells. You silly sausage. They just don't exist. They're a figment of his imagination. Imagination. He wants to create a content empire, yeah.
Like Good Mythical Morning. I want to create a company like that and then not sell my soul. You know what I mean? 'Cause
Exactly.
I'm not going to go off on Rhett and Link right now, but they essentially got very far into Hollywood, and now they've denounced Christianity and all that stuff, which broke my heart because they were my role models growing up. But so I want to be able to entertain people, help people, but also do it in like a
Silly
way
you.
that we can like build upon it, like have producers and writers and have the infrastructure to be able to fly out talent and do it in like such a big
Welcome in, by
way
the way,
that
Hills.
you can do what they do, where they have a show every single day and then they have like spin-offs and stuff. I think that stuff would be really cool.
Now, do you ever think about like helping others do the same?
I think Ethan wants to be a game grump. Hey, I'm Grump. I'm not so Grump. And I'm Ethan Game Grumps. I think that's what he wants. I think he wants Game Grumps, Good Mythical Morning, that kind of stuff. He just wants to sit there and go, hudda, hudda, Mario coins, Sonic rings. On the day he
Weight
reaches
loss
his
journey?
goal
No,
weight, yes.
I think I'm already doing that. I
Wife
could
and kids.
care less about becoming a coach or a trainer or anything like that. I really don't give a shit about it. Because, like, yeah, I will always have the weight loss stuff tied to me, and I'll always have a willingness to help people, but I'm just going to tell them what I did and tell them who helped me do it and bid them adieu. You know, like I don't want to be that guy who's like sitting there giving plans and training clients and stuff. You know, that's just not me. I want to be doing this, you know, and I think that I'm in a position now where I'll probably never fully leave the fitness space because this will always be a vital part of my story. But I don't plan on being just the weight loss guy. You know, I plan on.
Again, I'm so glad that we decided to watch this podcast because it's really telling from 5 months ago to now how he thinks he's dead-ended himself into weight loss and fitness content. Because as time's gone on, the stuff has dwindled with weight loss, it's dwindled with fitness. He couldn't even make it to the end of January to talk about his calorie deficit and his step count. And now he's not talking about it at all. So in only the space of 5 months, he's never really wanted to be a fitness influencer. He's never wanted to be a weight loss influencer. He's just said now, even losing the weight, he wouldn't want to help people. He'll just say, I did this, I did that. I'll bid you adieu. It's not adieu, it's adieu. Just saying. He's not certified to do any of that anyway. Exactly. The Beast to Beast went out and got a nutritionist certificate and all that, and now he does that stuff. He wants to help people. He wants to help people on their journey. Ethan just wants the fame. Fame. Do, do. Yeah, this is 5 months ago. Welcome in, Deb, by the way. Yeah, 5 months ago.
That whole initial thing I said about where the weight loss creators peak at the before and after, I was planning on using that before and after to launch like a show or something, and I'm still planning on doing that. The only difference is now I'll have like a ginormous platform to launch it off of.
Yes, that's what I was thinking. Because you have a lot of followers right now on Instagram.
Yeah, I started that Instagram and my Facebook page 8 weeks ago, and I think Instagram's at 291,000, and Facebook's at like 234, and I've gained another 120,000 on TikTok. So like
Yeah, I
literally this
think so,
past 8
Crash.
weeks has been over 600,000 new followers with nearly 200 million video views in the past 8 weeks. It's like numbers that I would have never imagined.
Now, would you recommend to someone watching right now that wants to
Yeah, I would love to help people too. I don't know in what capacity, but it would be nice to help people out. Yeah, Ethan was pretty much unleashed upon the world. He thinks fame equals money equals wife and kids. Yep, yep. He's just, I don't know. He's obviously grown up watching YouTubers and seeing their success and being like, well, I can do that in his weird announcing voice. And he just thinks that once the weight loss is done and when he gets the before and after, he's going to be instantly famous. He's seen Obese to Beast get a car from Ellen for losing weight. And he's like, I could have a car as well. Obese to Beast is scrupulously honest. Yes, he's also a bit of a fence sitter, especially when it comes to Amblin Reed. Yeah, you're right, Mudslinger. Um, he's a bit too milk toast in some of his arguments. But I love Obese to Beast. I think he's a fantastic guy. But that's my only issue. He's very middle of the road, very milk toast.
start today a weight loss journey, would you recommend him starting an Instagram page and sharing it to the world?
Nope. Not unless they have the mental capacity to deal with what comes alongside doing that. Imagine the mental state of the average 500-pound man.
Yeah.
I had given up. Yeah, they are either given up or they are at a point where if they're not actually changing, and you hope they are, right? But if they're not actually changing, they've convinced themselves that they've made the decision to do so without actually doing it. Because that's where I was, right? I lost 100 pounds and gained it back 3 times in the last 4 years.
So come
Because I
on.
convinced myself that I made that decision, but then when push comes to shove and something hard happened in my life, I was not mentally strong enough to stop myself from backtracking. So honestly, like if you have a passion for being on camera and you like doing the content and creating, go ahead and try it. But most people, or not most people who don't have the capacity mentally to deal with what comes with being online are going to end up hurting themselves because they're going to allow that pressure or whatever the comments or whatever the hell get to them, and then they're going to end up hurting their own progress. Them progressing on their journey matters more than them sharing it. If you have the capability of doing both, then you can impact a lot of people. But I think a lot of people in that position right now would be doing themselves a disservice and potentially halting or hurting their own journeys just for the sake of trying to.
I don't think Ethan can handle that then because the journey, the weight loss journey has taken a back seat compared to him wanting to go out on dates, moving to Tennessee. So he's outed himself through the passage of time. So this 5 months ago is basically a fortune telling situation of what's happened last night with his major crash out. He doesn't want to be known as a fitness content creator. He just wants to be known as a funny guy, funny haha, sweetie, as some kind of famosity, famousness. Your food and workout updates help. They encourage others to keep going. Thank you, Deb. I appreciate that. I haven't posted my update today. I'll do that after this live, but I did go to the gym this morning, so.
Share it even if they didn't have the capacity to do so. I know that's a pretty hot take, but those are my thoughts on that.
I get motivated by watching your Instagram page. I really do.
Yeah, I appreciate that, man.
Keep grinding, keep working hard, and keep chasing your dreams because your dreams won't chase you.
Yeah, I'm definitely trying. Like I said, like I've got so blessed that I had the experience with social media in the past because now this time around with this momentum, I was able to just grab it and run. Like it's wild, man. Like I have that partnership with Jocko now.
Ethan, don't run. We know you can't. You don't even walk, mate. You don't even do 10,000 steps. Why do I have a feeling it's all talk and not much else? Because, yeah, that's pretty much what it is. No worries, Monkship. You take care. Have a good day.
I have a manager, I have a nutritionist, I have a trainer, and I've been able to maneuver this space in a way that, like, not only am I helping a lot of people, but I've also gotten myself in a position to be fortunate enough to be helped by a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm
So why are you kicking them to the curb? Why are you saying I've got a nutritionist, I've got a personal trainer, I've got all this help behind me, but I'm really sad right now, so I can't do anything with it? Surely they would be helping him, no? Welcome in, Ray Ray. Good to see you. Yeah, he crashed out last night because he thought, because he's doing a 36-hour fast, he thinks people are attacking his religion. And now he's just be like, right, I'm just going to become a devotion page now.
Definitely blessed.
Yeah, what you're doing with you have so many followers. I mean, with that many followers, sponsors start to come to you, and they want to use your following to help them, and you just got to decide if this is something that you want to work with. You know, at the end of the day.
Well, yeah, like even back as a streamer, I didn't accept barely any like business inquiries. I still haven't, other than the Jocko partnership, I haven't
Maybe
really done
don't.
any of that. Like I'm sure I will start to implement a little bit of it just to like make that income increase. But I mean, at the end of the day, I think that's just kind of part of the game, right? Like it would be really silly not to utilize the analytics that I have right now.
Exactly. And Ethan, this is the part of the show, the Friday mindset part of the show. I want to dig into your journey, the moments, and the mindset that shaped you into who you are today. Ethan, what has been the best piece of advice you've ever received?
Ooh. I don't know if I learned this. I don't know if I'd made this up myself or if I learned it from someone else, but literally, why would you take heed of the opinions of someone that you do not respect? You don't need thick skin to understand that.
Mm-hmm.
And once you have an understanding of that, that thick skin forms. Like what I was talking about with like the people who maybe want to start posting, but they don't have the capacity to handle all the comments.
Okay, so why do you reply to every comment that is negative towards you then? Because you seem to take heed of all the comments of people you don't respect, and yet you don't really say anything to the positive comments. You kind of just leave them be. But if somebody says you had a hair out of place in that last video, Ethan be like, "Don't you dare talk to me like that! I have a wonderful, lustrous head of hair, and I'm 6'5".
And stuff. Why? Even if it's a famous person, or even if it's someone who's in a position of superiority,
Yeah,
quote
no, it's
unquote,
true.
of you, if you don't love or respect that person, why would you let what they say impact you? It's really that simple. I know that's a big pill to swallow for a lot of people, and I know a lot of people are sensitive to what others say about them, and I get that. So if you can carry that mindset, but also be emotionally capable of like taking a compliment, I think that's huge, man.
That's such a good point because a lot of people out there they struggle with their self confidence, and putting yourself online is nothing easy. Trust me on that one. I know it, you know it, and people come out from all angles at you.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably
And like that's the
Ray.
thing, man. Like
Yeah,
I am like I share way more than I should on social media. But it's just because I want people to understand what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
If I have a bad day, I literally start up the camera and I talk about why, you know? Because and I don't know for a fact, but you feel like other people are going to experience the same thing. So maybe
just call him Donald Plump.
sharing your own perspective on that can help them, you know?
Now, Ethan, what's one truth about life you wish more people understood?
Not to get too preachy, but I think if you seek God, your life will just get better. I started going back to church a week before this stuff started. Like when I went back to church for the first time, like 10 weeks ago or 9 weeks ago, I had a discussion with my pastor's wife about like potentially getting back into social media and how I wasn't sure if I wanted to or not because I feel like it'd be hard to put God first in the whole thing. And then I literally the next week our pastor started a 3-week sermon on impact. And that week is literally when I went from like 0 to 20,000 on Instagram. So over the course of his 3-week sermon on impact, I went from like 0 to 20,000, 20,000 to 40,000.
What, so he just stood there talking for 3 weeks? That seems like a pretty long sermon. I don't even think the Sermon on the Mount lasted for that long. Not to get too preachy. I know, old Churchy Lafemme over here.
40,000 to 100,000, like what, 70 million video views later, you know, while
You're making a big difference.
While he was pouring into my life about having an impact on people.
Like I was saying earlier, I mean, what you are is God's gift to you, and what you do with it is your gift to God. I mean, you're making a huge impact on so many people's lives.
Yeah, and I'm trying, man. Like the thing is, people really gotta get over themselves with like the linearity of the weight loss stuff, because it's not one direction. Like ideally, yeah, the scale goes down every single week, right?
Mm-hmm.
But like I spent 6 hours in the gym this weekend and walked 25,000 steps, and I was up 2 pounds on the scale because of how much I was moving around and how much I stressed out my muscles. And then people are like, "Yo, well, since you started social media, you're going up on the scale." Like people, that's the most challenging thing is dealing with people's ignorance. I know that sounds really pretentious, but like showcasing the journey in an open and honest way, because I bet you anything, most weight loss creators wouldn't have the balls to post a weigh-in where they were up a significant amount.
Mm-hmm.
They'll just go, "I'm skipping the weigh-in" or whatever, you know?
It almost seems like a lot of people out there, they want the view of the mountain, but they don't want.
I'm pretty sure I've posted big weight gains because, I think on this weight loss journey at my lowest, I was 19 stone 12. And now I'm back up to 23 stone 11, and obviously, I've had a big issue with binge eating, and that went out of control for a long time. So I think it's all about being honest, and I don't think Ethan is being honest. Not when it comes to talking about what he eats, not when it talks about doing the exercise. He just wants to be like, look over there, and just not talk about his weight loss anymore. He wants to pivot and just be famous. Exactly, you just got to be honest about it. Yeah, everybody I've seen has been honest about their gains, apart from the girls, apart from people like Rosie, Amber, Chantel. He sounds more like Roz. Yeah, he's pretty much quirky love Ethan.
Off the climb.
Yeah. Like
True,
people have
Wendy.
to realize that I am sharing this and the way I'm doing it to show people how much it sucks. Like that's just the journey. There's going to be moments that suck mentally. The scale's going to go up, yada yada yada, you know? And I think having the ability to share those downs open and honestly as open and
Probably
honestly
not.
as you share the ups in the journey is what makes that powerful.
Now, for anyone that's struggling out there with their confidence, what should they do?
Ooh, I guess it depends on the kind, man. Like what in terms of like what kind of confidence because like spiritually,
I
mentally,
mean,
I am
if you want to be confident, you just have to be 6'5" and broad-shouldered and have a big wodge of red hair up here. That's all you need.
incredibly confident in myself. But physically, I never have been, you know? Because I don't have the body to match that confidence yet. But, like, the thing is, like, it depends. Because self-confidence can mean a lot of different things,
Mm-hmm.
you know? Like, honestly, like, just for example, I love my height and I love my hair. And I'm super self-conscious about my teeth. And I'm super self-conscious about my weight. Because when I wasn't taking care of my body, I wasn't taking care of any part of it. Mouth, body, whatever, you name it. So my dental health is effed from not taking care of my teeth for the better part of a decade. So I don't even like showing my teeth when I smile on camera.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't allow those things that I'm self-conscious about to deter me from being confident in who I am. Because I can fix these things. I can get the weight off. I can have the surgery done to get the skin removed, and I can have my teeth whitened or whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you really gotta. I think it's more important to focus on like who you are as opposed to your body or like your physical confidence.
Well, I see everyone should really understand that. See your body as a temple, okay? Body, mind, and spirit. Those are the three pillars of the temple. And it seems like you're aligned with all of those right now, and you're on your mission. And if you're not on track with one of those, it's not gonna be really stable.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, like
Right.
because I'm probably further along in my spiritual journey right now than I ever have been, and I think that's true for all three pillars in reality. But I'm still even with this new emotional maturity.
This guy on the left here seems to be quite a bad judge of character if he thinks Ethan's got it all sorted. But then again, Ethan's only showing what he wants us to see. He's not showing everything, and that's why he's again lying and diverting.
And me being more confident now than I ever have been, I'm still not very confident in my body at all. It's
No,
just what
Paolo.
it is, you know. I think I got
I was the
some work
same
to do.
though.
Ethan, what was something significant from your childhood that shaped you into who you are today?
I think my uncle Tom was a EMT, but he was also like a announcer. He was like he would do like radio shows and he would DJ, and him and my cousin Jason were the first two people in my life that kind of introduced me to like even like being on a microphone, you know? So actually this microphone right here, he gave me when I was like 12, and I still keep it. It's not very good nowadays, but I still keep it on my dresser.
So they're to blame. All right, Uncle Tom. The blame's on you, mate.
Because that was the first time that I was kind of introduced to like being behind a microphone and doing like they would like read ads for like radio and they would do the DJ stuff, and I was like, holy crap, being behind a mic is like really awesome, you know?
I do know. I'm a singer, podcaster, and I love being behind a mic. I grow every time when I'm behind a mic. I learn something different. I learn how to even
I don't want to know about you growing behind the mic. That's very personal to yourself, mate. I mean, I can probably see it from here, but
talking to a mic. I mean, a year ago, I did not know how to even start a podcast, how to do anything like this. And now it's like, I'm a singer, I'm a podcaster, I'm doing so much with behind a mic. And one of my goals this
Blame
year was
shifting,
to get better behind the mic, and I achieved it so far. It's all about the journey, not the destination, but the personal development throughout the journey. And that's what it's all about.
Yeah, man, I'm telling you, that streaming gave me a very invaluable experience with that because I was live 60 hours a week for like 3 years. So I've got a lot of experience just talking fluently. I actually cared so much about this at one point that I would like practice my inflection and I would read tongue twisters before I went live to make sure that I was speaking with a good articulation. So
Yes.
like subconsciously now,
True
like every
cipher.
move I make with my head, everything I speak, even my hand movements, every little enunciation is like calculated in my
He
brain.
is
I
a
don't even think about
singer.
it at this point.
For someone that wants to be a streamer, what advice
Baby, bye, 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 bye.
would you give them?
Don't stream on one platform, or if you do, like, okay, regardless of where you stream, you got to make content elsewhere, you know? Because for the first 2 years, I didn't make anything elsewhere. I had like 50 viewers on Twitch after grinding 60 hours a week, literally not doing anything else but streaming. And within 3 months of me making TikToks, I went from 50 viewers on Twitch to 1,000. So
Is it
If
a
you-
different type of content?
no, it was literally clips from my streams. So if you don't diversify your audience, you'll never grow.
This is all platitudes, you're right. He's just stringing together cliches with nothingness. How on earth did he go from 1,000 viewers? Well, I know why. He went from 1,000 viewers on Twitch to not having a Twitch channel. You have to do some kind of self-destruction or not be good enough as a personality to go from 1,000 people to none. He was in hospital for a while, and like I said earlier, there are tons of Twitch streamers out there. They have 1,000 viewers. They'll probably come back after a week or two, and they'll have 800, 700. But that'll come back up when people discover that that person is actually back. His Twitch channel never grew. His wife might be impressed like this. Are you impressed by this, future Ethan's wife? Yes. She's a ghost at the moment because she doesn't exist. It is Wednesday, yeah.
Or at least obviously you can, but it's going to be at snail's pace compared to what you were if you were actually putting in effort on other platforms.
Ethan, what kind of legacy are you going to leave?
I would like to leave a legacy of kind of ministering through example and entertainment, you know? Because I don't want to, like, I'm too, I don't know if harshly spoken is the word. I'm too sharp edged and I speak too bluntly to be a pastor, right? And honestly, I have no passion whatsoever. I don't feel a calling on my life to preach like scripture.
Yeah, Dan,
But
yeah.
I do think it's important that people understand how big of a part of my faith is in my journey, and then they see what is happening in my life, and then they see how
Keep climbing that mountain till you get to the summit, and then you shoot for the moon. And if you miss, you'll still land among the stars. Never give up. Never surrender. Eh? Yeah.
much of that I devote to God, and then they go, oh, maybe I should see what that's all about, you know? Kind of leading by example as opposed to being like a, you know, knock on the door, have you heard of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ kind of thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because most people, when they pray, they ask for strength or wisdom. And most of the time, God gives you something totally opposite to see if you actually can withstand that. And then you get strength through that process.
Yeah. Yeah, man. So I think like leaving that legacy of whatever entertainment entity I end up building and combined with that, with I'm assuming I've hopefully already led some people to the Lord, you know, but just having that whole journey documented and then having it all accredited to him, I think is going to be super impactful. Because at the end of the day, I'm going to be one of the only people that was my size that loses the weight without going the route of like weight loss meds or surgeries or something. You know, like I'm literally just doing hard work and a good diet. That's like all I've been doing.
Alex,
And I know they're not
stop,
necessarily a bad thing
stop.
to do, but
No,
I haven't
no,
been
no,
taking any
I don't wanna hear
shortcuts. I'm just
this.
trying to do it all on my own with the strength that he's given me.
Now, with everything you've been through with the Twitch and the weight loss
Pause
journey,
it!
what has been the biggest driving?
Pause it! No. No, 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 no. He wants to be the only person to lose a significant amount of weight and do it naturally without any kind of help. What the flip are you talking about? There are loads of people that have done it without help. What? He genuinely believes he is a unique being. He's like the first human being to lose weight. What the fuck are you talking about? Exactly. There are thousands of people that do that every year, and Ethan's talking like, I'm so special. I'm the only person in the 21st century to have ever lost a single ounce. And everybody put me on a pedestal.
Factor for success in your career.
My future wife and kid, 100%. It's not even close. Like, literally, this stuff is cool because I love doing it, but it doesn't matter at all compared to that. It's like the only thing I think about. I think about it every day, almost every moment of every day. It's literally like the only driving force behind what I do is thinking about them.
That's powerful. That's so powerful. And
Yeah.
What do you think of that, Peggy Sue? Oh, I think it's a really admirable thing. Thank you so much. Exactly, Kyla.
Ethan, the
Obese
show
the
is called
Beast
Every
said
Day
it
is Friday,
already.
and Friday has a special energy, whether it's freedom, excitement, or just feeling of accomplishment after a long week. Ethan, I want to hear
Yeah.
from you. What does Friday mean to you?
Ooh. It's kind of weird now working in this space because there is no work days and there's no weekends. Like, it's just kind of go, go, go. Even on Sundays, I upload like 3 or 4 times. But I think there is something to be said about like leading into the weekend, being able to, at least on the latter part of a Friday, right, being able to look back on another week. And I think it's more of a time of recollection, man. Like, kind of looking back, because for me, when I think of Fridays and like weekends,
When I think of Fridays, well, firstly, I don't care if Monday's blue, Tuesday's grey, and Wednesday too. Thursday, I don't care about you, but Friday, I'm in love. It's great, isn't it?
I think of like looking back at like how fast the week went by, and it's just like crap. Like, it's
I
already
think
Friday.
narc
You know?
tendencies,
Like,
Jen.
that's a whole nother week of my life that's just gone. So I think that's a big thing of what I think about when it comes to that type of thing.
No, I like the way you're thinking there. I mean, it's a mindset of like anything is possible. You got to celebrate in like new beginnings, basically.
Yeah, for sure.
And Ethan, this is your chance to leave the listeners with something powerful. Is there anything else you want to share?
Anyone out there that has the weight to lose, right? You have to have a reason to lose it. It's going to be, even if it's a family member or a friend of yours that has it to lose, it's going to be really hard for them to do that until they find their why, right? Because I had convinced myself that I had made the decision to lose weight and I kept gaining it back. But as soon as I found that reason on why I needed to, I haven't slipped up. So try not to force it on them. Try to help them realize why they need to do it. And I think that
Yeah, he's definitely not slipped up. Yep. He's tripped and fallen and he can't get up.
it'll get done a lot better.
Find that why. It is so powerful. I mean, every podcast I do, every guest, they have the why behind their
Yes,
passion.
Wendy.
And it's so powerful to have that. Anyone listening out there, please go ask yourself. Go sit in a quiet room for 45 minutes and ask yourself why. Whatever you're chasing, whatever you're doing, ask that why question.
Yeah, if you find a reason, then the whole process just becomes pretty simple. It doesn't become a question
Yes,
of
love.
if, right? It just becomes a question of when.
Nope.
Because I literally failing has not even
Fanny.
crossed my mind since January. It's
Not
not an
being
option.
fanny.
Because I
That's
would
all he
not be able to
wants.
live with myself if I were to fail them.
And all your information will be in the description down below. And I just want to make sure that people know where to find you and support your work. Where can people follow and support?
Yeah, man. So I upload the same short form
What
content
videos
every
and
day to
singing?
Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, and X. X is by far the smallest, but why not, right? Doesn't hurt to hit upload on one more spot. On Instagram, hold on, let me think about this for a second. On Instagram, YouTube, and X, it's at Ethan Benard, ETHANBENARD. And on Facebook and TikTok, it's at Ethan Benard Live. So it's ETHANBENARDLIVE because someone took my username.
And everyone, please go out there, hit the link below, and please go watch his weight loss journey. Remember to go click that and go watch him, support his work and everything he's going. I mean, his future is so bright. I mean, continue to work hard like you're doing. And I know the listeners got a lot of value out of this, and it's been an awesome conversation. I appreciate you being here.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Matthew. I had a good time, man.
No, yeah, thank you for sharing your stories and experiences. I know you motivated someone out there listening. And to everyone listening, make sure you stay tuned for more amazing stories on Every Day is Friday. If you enjoyed this, make sure you follow, share, and keep that Every Day is Friday mindset going. Stay inspired and make every day feel like Friday. Until next time, everybody.
No. So that was Ethan on the Every Day is Friday podcast. And wasn't that a marvelous podcast, everyone? Now, I just would like you to indulge me, Ben without the R, odd, yes. Now, if you wouldn't mind indulging me for just a witty bitty bit, a witty bitty bittle, I just want to have a look at a couple of things. Because I don't know about you guys, but Ethan doesn't look like he's changed very much in 5 months. I just want to see a recent podcast. A recent podcast, okay?
And that's to be expected. And like, I think you do a good job too when you're explaining, when you're doing your weigh-ins. You're like,
Okay. Hold on.
I expect.
This was from 4 weeks ago. Four weeks ago.
When you
5 months ago. Mr. Benard, your silence will only incriminate you further. What happened 5 months ago, 4 weeks ago? Can somebody explain this? More maddening than the girls. Tell ya. How so this is him. This is, I think he's claiming like 500, I guess. He definitely looks like he hasn't slipped up a single day. Deb, you are so on the monies. You're so on the money. But this 4 weeks ago hasn't slipped. Hasn't slipped. The holidays happened. That is so true. That is so true. So,
Expected this. I was
that's fair
hydrating a lot
enough.
more.
The
I was doing
holidays
this.
did happen. Yeah, the holidays did happen, to be fair. Oh, look, that's me. Do you remember this podcast? In the hot
But again, like he
tub?
was talking about,
Gay for me. Like it would, I would
Neck don't neck like that, exactly.
Be as a 500.
Hold on. So, you know, this is. Hold on, how long ago was this? You think it was filters? Yeah. This was 4 months ago. So these two these two things are a month apart. He's like Mr. Sowers, but without the outright grift. Yeah. Do you know what? People have commented on my um previous lives on Ethan saying I'm a bitch, saying I'm a horrible person. I'm not lying to them though. Ethan is lying to them. Maybe the chin is little there. Maybe he needs a hijab, yeah. He needs to find a good Syrian husband. That's what he needs. Yeah, I mean, it is a bit of a different angle, isn't it? His neck and his head and neck look like a column. Yeah, he looks like Gerald from Hey Arnold. Do you know who I mean? Hold on. Ethan. This is Ethan. Let it. Arnold. See, I can't tell the difference. I just can't tell the difference. Ethan's going to be taking a trip to Malaysia soon. Exactly. Exactly. Oh, it really is. He doesn't look like he hydrates. No, I think he actually I think he hydrates with Jocko fuel, to be fair. He always looks really red. And I know, ginger people tend to be a bit more sensitive skin-wise. But, I don't know. You still love Hey Arnold? Yeah, me too. um, so yeah, I mean, he had his massive crash out. Do you want to watch the crash out again? We'll watch the crash out again. Hold on. It's just it boggles the mind. Truly, truly.
I know I pay too much attention to negative comments in general, but the internet is actually pissing me off tonight. Every day I see comments that are blatantly slandering me, which I get. And I understand as someone with a relatively large social media following, that's going to be something that just happens. There's no avoiding negativity on the internet. However, when it comes to the fasting reel that I just made specifically, some of the comments that are questioning my intentions for the fast are actually making me angry. Because when people are commenting like, oh, he's just doing the fast to lose weight, they're not just attacking my character, they're also attacking my faith. Because I literally said in the video, I want to do this fast so that I can pray about some things that I need to deal with in my life. And let me tell you, folks, maybe I need to become a little more bold. There's two things in life that I'm willing to die for: my faith and my family. And I know those comments probably weren't angled towards attacking my faith, they were probably angled towards just attacking me. But I take something like that very seriously. So to all of the normal viewers watching, I appreciate you. And to all of the people leaving comments like that watching, keep going. Keep going. I will not hesitate to just start making a freaking devotional series on my page. I do not care. I will start openly leaning into my faith and how important it is to my life on this page, and I will not hesitate to do it. Anyway, that's about it. Tomorrow, I'm actually taking a solo trip. I have been on the internet a long time. I'm used to being insulted. I don't really care about that. But when people question my character and when people question my faith and my intentions specifically, that stuff hurts. And I don't know how to just sit here and take it. I know I pay too much attention to negative.
So that was a very filtered Ethan. Let's see something subtle, very subtle. Yeah, very, very, very subtle. Very subtle. Just being subtle. Just trust me, you'll be fine. Right. Now, February 2025. Okay? I've been watching Bottom. I love Bottom. It's very funny. Love a bit of Rick Mail. What am I doing? Where's my history? There we are. So this is
this because of these exercises, like not all weight is fat.
Yeah.
And there is a difference. Like that's and a lot of people maybe if they're not familiar, like they don't really
this out. We're knocking this out. Ethan's like, I can't. I don't know if I can live. Use Turtle Beach headphones. Right?
And his drug
To the hospital or the like 11
Rick, yeah. Love a bit of Rick Mail. I will say he has a great head of hair. Yeah, I mean, it's up to you to say that. I personally don't think so. But so this is what did we say? 4 weeks ago? February 2025. December 2025. February 2026. End of 2025. Look, I'm not even being a dickhead, right? I'm just showing two pictures of Ethan. February 2026. Just trust me, you'll be fine. Nee, nee, nee. When he go back to Chicago, he feel. You're more of a Tim Minchin. Yeah, that's fair. Like a Charlie Dimmock type hair. Do you know who I mean? The Brits will know. I never use filters. No. 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 Ethan Benard is lying to his audience. And they're lapping it up because they don't pay attention. And people be like, you're just jealous because Ethan uses slimming filters. Well, I'm actually losing the weight, so I don't really need the slimming filters. I don't care. Is there a factory where they turn out podcasts? But I know every cis-het white man has a podcast. um. So yeah, that's Ethan Benard and his big old crashy outy stuff. Foodie screen mask. Exactly. It's stupid. It is so stupid, isn't it? So fucking stupid. But yeah, that was streamed today. Um, thank you all so much for being here. I really appreciate it. I'll probably I probably won't go live as early because it seems to infringe on other people. Thank you, Fresh. I appreciate that. Yeah, the whole jealousy thing yesterday. Yeah, yeah, I understand. So, um, I've got a crush on Ethan. Yeah, I love 6'5" ginger linebackers. All right. Um, yeah, like, share, and subscribe to the stream. Become a member if you're not a member already. Um, thank you so much, everybody. I appreciate you all. I apologize for my mic not working for the first like 10 minutes. So if you watch the replay, just skip the first 10 minutes, and then you'll be fine. Sexual tension, yeah, yeah. Thanks, guys. Take care, everyone.